I try to become more calm as I age. I mean, it's not
As you
a,
age.
it's, a,
Okay.
it's not a good look on a middle-aged guy. I'm not middle-aged, by the way, but it's not a good look on an adult, right? To be
Yeah.
So yeah, I try to be rational. I try to be rational. I hope I'm being more rational over the years. But then again, yeah.
Can I ask how old you are?
You guess.
I don't know, that's the thing, because I've actually no idea. I don't really have an idea of your background, so I can't really guess.
Yeah. So basically, based on my biological appearance and everything, it's just a wild guess. It's okay. I won't get angry if you guess it wrong. Of course, no, it's a guessing game.
If you kill me, there's a recording.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't. I mean, it's recorded there. I couldn't do anything anyway.
Is it like late 20s?
Yeah, I do look like late 20s.
Yes.
Oh really? That's your final answer?
Yes.
Actually, you're not. Okay, I have been late 20s, but I'm not late 20s. So I look young, yeah, guys. I look young. Yeah, it's nice to know chemistry. It's nice to know physics and math, but I don't want to do this. And then hearing stories from my friends who actually went into the engineering industry. There are a few of them. Usually they either really like the job or they're just the kind of person that is not easily bored. And I envy that because I'm that kind of person. That is a weakness of mine that I'm aware of. I'm easily bored with things. Maybe I have undiagnosed ADHD. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm not trying to, because it's really, it's really trending right now. Oh, actually, I have this. I'm not trying to do that. Because I do something and then I leave it halfway. I'm trying to reduce those kinds of things right now. If I want to try something, I try committing into it. Then so far, those kinds of things, trying to commit into one thing kind of changed my life a little bit by of course I still leave things unfinished, but because before this it's just like I don't want to do this and then just leave it. But as you grow older, you realize you don't have much time, and then there's so many abandoned projects from my youth. If I had been consistent, maybe I turn out differently today. I'm not saying ageism is that intact, but then again, of course, if they see, oh, this fresh grad, we can train him, he will listen to what I say. This uncle,
No.
imagine the politics there. That's why, at least I have something. I just try to gain a little bit to my advantage.
I don't think they're going to judge you based on your age and receive.
I mean, I don't think they're going to be that judgmental. I'm not accusing them of anything, but then again, we wouldn't know, Your chances in life are partially determined on how you look.
Yeah, I mean, there is the whole, like, people treat you nicer if you look better.
If you look better. So, I have no issues with me looking older, actually. I am very confident with that. It's just in a fresh grad situation, you see? Yeah, fresh grad situation.
So you're just trying to make sure your chances are all
at least the same with other students, because if they see my resume, hey, he's supposed to just graduate from diploma, he's so old. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's for you, because if you look too uncle, then especially now. I'm not saying looking uncle is a bad thing, but you have to understand my situation. Yes, viewers. I am a returning student taking a diploma at a ripe age of 32. So if I send out my resume looking like an uncle, you think they would hire me or not? Of course not. What he has been doing in his life? Only this old he wants to take diploma, and this one no good lah. See, it might happen. So I don't want things like that. I'm sure the companies are not that judgmental, but then again, you can never be too careful. Yep.
You'll be smart, lah. You think 3 steps ahead already.
I mean, trying. It wouldn't happen. It might not happen anyway. I'm actually 32. I'm turning 32 this year.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
So
suddenly I feel like, oh shit, I need to be more respectful.
No, it's okay. I mean, maybe that's why I look young, because most of people around me are way younger than me. I think that is That is the thing, because most of my friends are, I mean, in your 30s, most of your friends are already, in the stage of where they have families, they have children.
Yes.
So I don't really get to hang out with
them.
them a lot. So it's not I'm saying there's no choice, but usually people who are available to hang out
Yeah.
often are way, way younger. Maybe that's why. Or maybe it's because of my skincare routine, but no, I no. No, no, I don't really have I just wash my face with soap.
What? Well, thank you for coming on to the show.
Okay.
Your name is Ramdzuanny. You are 32.
32, yep.
Yes, 32. Actually, because you said you're working, right? Could I ask a little bit about how you came from that sort of background
Okay.
and what sort of brought you into tech?
All right. Yeah, so basically I've done this multiple times, but then here you go again. So basically I went to university like everybody else, the traditional route. So I went to I went to study chemical engineering. So so I graduated in 2019, and after that I didn't really look for a job in the engineering industry because I didn't really like my major.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so why choose it? But it's how to say, because if it's tied to my scholarship thing, so I had to choose something in engineering.
Scholarship?
Yeah, I had a scholarship to study my degree. So basically, the scholarship is for basically it just sends you to an engineering school. So because I don't really have much choices. I mean, of course I can pay it myself, but then again, financial background and everything, and okay, now we just take it. So I just took the scholarship, and then because I wanted to study medic when I was in school.
Okay.
But I couldn't, yeah, because of the scholarship thing, and I couldn't really risk it because I didn't really get any offer from for medical, right? So the only thing I had two offers, but one is for finance, one for engineering. So I had so it's not really I had to choose on the spot. I had to go to foundation and everything. Only after that I had to choose. So since I wanted to study medical science, and I was pretty good in biology and chemistry, but not so much in physics.
Okay.
So so I chose chemical engineering because it seemed to me, because nobody really explained to us what chemical engineering is, right? So it seemed to me that would be the least physics oriented thing in engineering, but that's actually not the case.
Yeah.
After going through that, I can confidently tell you. So if anybody of you trying to go into chemical engineering is just engineering that involves things that are sensitive chemically. That's it. But then again, you have to know this. Don't go to chemical engineering because you want to avoid physics and math. It's still there. It's going to be really hard.
Yes.
It's engineering anyway. So okay, so I graduated that. So because I took my degree in Japan, so I managed to learn. Well, of course, not managed. I was forced to learn Japanese before I go there. So yeah. So after I graduated, I didn't go for engineering because I didn't like it anymore. And then, honestly speaking, the engineer, I mean, this has been an issue for so long already. Engineering salary is not really that high for fresh grads in Malaysia. So yeah, I don't really want to do that. So at that time, this was like 2021. There was like 2 years I didn't find a job because at the time I was studying for a master's, but that's a story for another time. So I didn't finish my master's, long story short. So I went into work as a Japanese content moderator. Content moderator. So I couldn't really talk about who's my client.
Yeah,
blah, blah.
no, it's fine. But
But don't worry, it's not really CIA Epstein files kind of thing. But basically, I have to review things that get uploaded into social media because it's in Japanese, right?
Yeah.
So okay, maybe they didn't want to, because they hire us here in Malaysia and all over the world because they didn't want to pay Japanese. Of course, Japanese they have to pay a minimum 20, how much? 200 200,000 yen, which is 6,000 ringgit, and plus blah 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 blah. So they hire us here in Malaysia, which they offer close to that actually. But then again, then okay. So I went into that sort of how to say, that sort of industry, and then actually those kinds of jobs are actually okay. I mean, you of course you have to, because it's a content moderation thing, so you have to sometimes view something really gory, something. So it's not really for everyone, but most of the time you won't. And of course there are specialized teams to get into them. But of course, if you're working in the first line of defense kind of team, then you have to watch all of those things. Of course, the majority of it is just like very, how to say, well, it's not gory. It's more towards like
violent.
It's not violent. What's the nice word for people? What's the nice word? People having no clothes.
Nudity.
I mean, okay, I don't want to say nudity, but yeah, usually you have to deal with nudity, those kinds of stuff. So yeah, if you're not that sort of person, then again, it's going to be stressful mentally. But most of it is going to deal with nudity. That's the majority of it. Why training is really needed, of course, for the mental preparation, and because a content moderation job essentially in the long run is just tagging data. So you have the data, you have to take what is this, and this data is sorted to feed who? To feed AI. Yep. So I'm not saying I predicted this job will go away, but it's like you can kind of imagine already with the AI technology. I was already interested in tech because I had the opportunity to take an AWS certification, and then learning about cloud and basics of things make me this kind of thing. I kind of like this, so I've been searching for places to learn. Of course, you can self-study. There's actually a lot of opportunities that I let go, that I think if I had taken it, I would be already a software engineer right now. But then again, it's past. So I go, like I mentioned, I went to blah blah blah, and then I end up here finally to take diploma, because the thing that I recognize was my problem is I don't really have a strong portfolio, and I don't really have a working experience to impress the interviewers. Most of the interviews I went is I always get they don't really, sometimes a lot of them don't really explain why the rejection reason, but those of them who do, they say it's more towards like the experience and then projects. So, and then to build projects, I have to study and then to think around. That's why I went to again. But then again, since I'm dividing time between work and study, so it's really hard to do. So I decided, okay, maybe the only thing that can make me study full time is quit my job. And then around the time where this was still going on, I was thinking to do this, because I know staying in the industry is not really sustainable for, even though I'm going to be honest, it pays quite high. But then again, that's why they pay you so high, because they're not going to care for you after the project is done. In fact, I just found out my old colleagues in my old company, I wouldn't mention, of course, but it's but yeah, they're being laid off. Currently. So it's just 6 months after I left to go here, and then 6 months after that, they're all gone. Yes.
I'm just sort of digesting everything you just said.
It's just a very casual talk. There's no structure to it,
there
right?
is no structure.
Yeah. Like I said, there's no skill you accumulated. What skill do I want to say for my next name? Oh, I can differentiate between pawn and non-pawn. Is that it? Everybody could do that. You get what I mean? Yeah, everybody could do that. So, all of this going on, I wanted something a skill to have. And even though I said I didn't really like chemical engineering, it's not like I dislike science. I'm just not. Maybe because I'm not very good at my studies back then. So I decided I didn't like it. Of course, thinking back, I still don't really like most of it. But it's not like the technology or the mathematics that make make me dislike. It's more like, yeah, this is not really,
Something that you
yeah,
enjoy.
something that I really enjoy. So learning from the lessons. So I try. Basically, it's just me knowing myself. So I try to start something that I think I can commit. But of course, yeah. Then again, if you think this is going nowhere, of course I will quit it. Yeah. It's fine to quit something sometimes.
Could it be a lack of interest though? I mean, like considering that you're talking about like chemical engineering, you were like not really into that.
Mm-hmm.
Comparing it to your coding journey, could it just be like an interesting rather than you don't? Maybe you're forcing yourself to have motivation for something that you're not particularly interested in.
In coding.
No, I mean like because you were saying that you have a lot of abandoned projects and all of these things.
Yep,
You're
yep.
constantly like letting things be finished halfway.
Okay.
Like I'm asking, like, do you think it could be because it was a lack of interest on your part that
Okay.
you were kind of like slowing through, and that's why you've always abandoned projects?
Because if I'm going to say it's a lack of interest, then I wouldn't have really considered starting, right? So I'm definitely interested in these things before, and yeah, some of it are really interesting. But then I think what I lack, and I am aware of it now, I'm trying to take steps to reduce that, is the lack of work ethic, the lack of one thing. That is one thing that I would, because I learned the importance of work ethic way late. It's in my late 20s already, when I was in college. Only after a few years in college, only then I realized work ethic is very important. Because I'm not saying, okay, so basically back in school, when you, because I was smart enough to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
So when you are raised in that kind of environment, when, yeah, the teachers always praise you and your parents always praise you, you see your results and you think you have that gift.
Yes.
And that is thing that you might have it. I'm not saying people who always get good results are not gifted. Maybe they have it, but the thing that I think that most maybe young students or whoever is watching this is, the most important thing is work ethic. And by work ethic, it's not just showing up, it's just learning how to go through failure and learning how to go through when nothing is going on. Because I don't blame my teachers and environment, but then again, at the young impressionable age like that, right? When you say, oh, you are very smart, you believe you are smart. I might be smart a little bit, but I'm not smart enough to coast through life without actually putting effort. So that thing I learned a little bit too late, but I learned it anyway. So if I had learned it a little bit earlier, maybe I would have had a greater time in my college years.
I don't think it was a late thing though. I think a lot of us actually have a very similar experience.
Okay, again, good to know. Good to know. Because there are some people that I know that learn the importance of work ethic quite early on when they were still teenagers. Because I think it has something to do with the schooling system. Because I was in a boarding school.
Oh.
Yeah, so a boarding school, usually because it's a boarding school, the teachers usually feed you with a lot of things, exercises.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, of course, you will get good results because you train for it, but you didn't realize that. If you go to a non-boarding school where you have to go and go back home, I'm not saying the teachers there are not dedicated, but the focus is different. The focus in a school like that is maybe getting kids to school, getting kids out of trouble, because there are some very bad environments out there. I'm not trying to imply anything, but yeah, the focus is different. So in a boarding school, usually you only you how to say, you have to have a certain exam result to even apply.
Yes.
So usually kids are there, usually they are out of trouble already. So the focus there is to get good results. So people who come from the non-boarding school background, and then because I met them at the engineering preparation, so people like this, they have, because the focus in their school is not really about making you get good results. So if they want to get good results, they have to work for it themselves. And usually people, I don't know if you know this, but the usually boarding school system in Malaysia has a lot of different things going on. But in my school, usually they take people from form 1. Back then we still had UPSR and PMR. So from form 1, they take it based on the UPSR, and then from form 4, they will take you in based on your PMR. So usually people who came in from form 4, they are from the day schools.
Yeah.
So most of the time, people who entered from form 4, they're going to be the best students, because these are kinds of students that know if you want something, you have to work for it. The rest of us who get in from form 1, we didn't really learn these kinds of things. We just, I'm smart. Maybe we are, but evidently effort is important. Even though seeing all that, I didn't really learn my lesson, right? So only after in college I realized, if I want something, I have to work for it. And then the first time I really put my time to study, and no, it was thermodynamics. I remember, it's a first year subject. I didn't pass it until 4th year.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't pass the subject. So basically, if I didn't pass that on my 4th year, I couldn't graduate. But yeah, I sat down in the cafe, I took notes, and I got a B. Oh, actually, if I study, and then from that point on, if you study, you will get what you want. So this content review, I have to, if there's no content to review, then there's no content review. Especially now, AI is reviewing anything already. I wish the best of luck for the rest of my colleagues out there, but then again, guys, the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall, guys. I wish the best of luck to you, but be realistic. That's why I run away. I'm not saying my choice is the correct one, because software engineers also face layoffs.
Yes.
And of course it's like this. But then again, the focus is on the making skill. If I manage to become a software engineer, I don't have to rely on an establishment for me to do my work. I can just code something up, and then hopefully somebody will get interested. But then again, you get what I mean. It's transferable everywhere. This kind of thing, no. So that's why I came into forward. Thank you for listening into.
Your story is like, it keeps expanding.
It's going to be a pain to edit this one. So back to the why I go into this, why I decided to study again, diploma even, it's not even like a continuation. Because for me, like I said, it's for the skill. I'm here for the skill, not for the certificate. Because I'm not saying certificates are useless, but depending on the level that I want. Because I want a really fundamental level skill that I can confidently bring wherever I go. That's why I go back here. It's not really about, certifications. Even if I get a master's in whatever, but then again, if I don't know how to code, it doesn't really,
I can second that.
Doesn't really become a story, right? You have masters in everything, blah blah blah. So that's why I decided to come here, and quitting my job and leaving all that, because like I said, it pays quite well, and I'm already 5 years in industry, so you can imagine how much I can demand from the company already. So leaving all that, it's not luxurious enough lah, but then again, compared to engineering salary or some people working, I'm blessed enough to have like above average salary. So to leave that behind and then become jobless, basically, it's a thing that I think about quite a long time. But like I always said, if you don't know, there's no way of really knowing anything unless you try, and that's all it is. It's a leap of faith. What's up, danger? That's all it is, man. It's a leap of faith. So I decided to take leap of faith. I hope this will work out in the end. But if it doesn't, at least yeah, I won't have any regrets. At least yeah, because the regret of not trying is usually bigger than the regret of trying. Except for drugs, yeah. except for drugs. Regret of trying is bigger, so don't do drugs.
Okay.
For the rest of the things is usually, yeah, you'll regret not trying. So I don't want to have that. I don't want that to haunt me.
Okay.
So yeah. Wow, I've been talking for like 40 hours, huh?
Yeah.
40 hours,
40
40 minutes. 40 minutes. 40 minutes. See, if all else fails, I'm going to apply to hits. Hi, I can talk for 40 minutes, no script.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, basically that's the
I'm
thing.
curious though, because like you came in and you are now in your 6-month
Yeah.
point. So you also came in when you were 32 now, in that sense, or 31?
31. Yeah, I'm turning 32. It's not yet my birthday. I'm still 31 something. Yeah, but
okay.
yeah, at this point, there's no point like, oh, actually 31 is 30s anyway. At this point, I learned to embrace my age. I'm 30
Okay.
plus. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, 6 months. Yeah, what's
Did you
the
find it like intimidating, I guess, coming in as an early 30s?
intimidating as in like what?
Because you're coming into a college where you know usually all your peers are like 18, 19, 20. Did you feel intimidated?
No, of course not. I mean, intimidated by how much, oh, I'm so lagging behind. Is that is
Well, I mean, it could be that, or it also could be like, oh, maybe I'm just too old to be here.
but yeah, no, actually, because like I said before, I was studying for my master's, so I already have that kind of mindset of continuous learning, you know. So maybe for people like me, no, yeah, it doesn't matter. You're 31, you're 40, because there's something that I want to really achieve, and that's why I come back here, even though the pathway is not, you know, what people would expect of my age, but it doesn't really matter. Intimidated, no. But maybe, yeah, no, maybe I feel like I should be doing more. Yeah, that's definitely that. Because I'm not saying that everyone else here, the younger students than me, they are not in the, well, basically, if we think about time as always chasing us, then we're going to get stressed all the time. What I'm trying to say, it's not like they are operating on a different timeline, but they can afford to do some mistakes yet, because they're still young. I mean, so the stakes for me is a little bit higher, I feel, because yeah, there's not much time for me to make mistakes. Of course, yeah, people still do, and you know, as long as we learn from our mistakes and things, it will eventually get better. But yeah, of course, equipped with all the knowledge and experience I had, I mean, I shouldn't be doing too much wrong this time, I hope. And you know, basically because the average lifespan of Malaysians is just like 70, so I'm middle aged right now. So as a middle aged guy, I shouldn't be doing so much nonsense things. But then again, it's yeah. To answer your question, no, not intimidated. Not in college, but maybe after this. Maybe after this, because I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying the companies are going to be biased about my age, but maybe they want somebody young. Maybe they have preconceptions. Maybe. But as far as I know, of course, most tech companies, they don't really have that kind of things. They say.
We believe that they say.
Yeah, they say, because I'm not saying our partners here are going to be that kind of companies. But you never know. Oh, this guy so old can do work, man. Later, if I tell him one, he will elaborate 3 to 4. He worked for so many years, ma. He better than me. See, people have kind of this. So after this, yes. But then again, who knows? It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to try new things. If all else fails, I have this thing as my resume. I apply to hits. If all else fails, it's okay.
Was there anything that was a bit difficult for you? Because considering you came from a science background, and well, you did a bit of your own peer-to-peer learning before you came in. Was it still difficult for you to transition into like full-time learning coding here?
No, actually, because I've been to I've been to college, I've been to things, so transitioning into learning here is not a problem for me. But I can see some other students maybe because they have some problem, maybe because this is their first time in college, their
Yes.
first time in tertiary education, so they have time, they have problems transitioning. But for me, no, because I this is not my first rodeo.
Yeah.
So for me, no. But maybe other students they have because, like I said, maybe they're having the same situation from school. Oh, you're very smart, and then they
Yeah.
don't really put effort when they're already here. But then again, yeah, that I'm not there. I'm not the parents. Of course, if somebody come to me for an advice, I will give. But if they don't say anything, I also don't want to be too busybody. Yeah.
But is learning tech difficult for you? Like learning about coding?
Honestly speaking, it's much easier
Compared to chemical
because
engineering.
okay. There's a thing when we say tech is big. So
Yes.
think syllabus in. I'm not saying it's easy, but comparatively easier to my degree. It's not easy, still not easy because there's a lot of practice to be done. There's a lot of things to be. You don't really have to memorize, but to get through to the syllabus, you have to answer exams. You have to have a certain understanding of the theory. But then again, because curriculum here is very focused,
Yes.
we're just studying web development and um, mobile and maybe some data analytics.
Yes.
So that there's not much to focus on, only those fields. And this is just a very small bit of computer science because that's why I think we don't really label this degree as computer science because we don't really touch much computer science here. We just learn a bit on software engineering part, which is, of course, as you do it more, of course, you will get exposed to the computer science. But yeah, but that one is not really our focus here. So of course, we have some. What I'm trying to say is why it's much easier because the scope is smaller, and then the software part is just practicing to to write code. So if forward were to do it were to put more computer science, then I think it will be a different challenge because that one heavily involves math.
Yes.
So maybe if that happens in the future, then I will have a different answer. But coming from already a STEM background, science background, because like I said, chemical engineering, interdisciplinary. I have to study biology, math, physics, chemistry. And chemistry alone, I have to study inorganic, organic, quantum. Whew. So compared to that, yeah, here much easier. Compared to that one. Don't go to chemical engineering.
That's like a main key takeaway. Don't go to
Don't go to chemical engineering if you don't like physics. Yeah, quote me full. If you like physics, then by all means go. Because if you don't like physics, yeah, it's going to be really hard. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, it's easier a little bit, but still not easy. I have to still put effort because after all, it's a new thing for me.
Yeah.
So I have to, and from so far what I notice, it's more at this level, at my current level, it's not really about understanding computer science. It's more to practicing
Yes.
to write code.
A lot of your things is memorization, is it?
What this one?
Coding.
I don't think it's a little bit of. It's not about memorization, but of course, it would be useful to memorize a lot of things. But since code editors, they always auto suggest things for you anyway, so you don't really have to memorize things now, and you can just Google things up if you don't remember a certain syntax. So it's not really about memorization. It's more towards really understanding the concept of what do you want to do? What does a thing do? If you want to do a thing, what do you need to build? It's more towards that. You don't, of course, it will be useful if you memorize, right? Yeah, it helps you in the exam and then it saves you time. And then, yeah, but not really a lot, if you ask me. yeah, what is that to memorize? As long as you know, and then if you have to memorize things, it's just like simple words, function, constant, things like that.
Understanding what they do, basically.
Yeah, but basically, I think the memorizing part is understanding to do this, you have to have this. Maybe that is what he meant by
Probably.
yeah.
Others part is probably memorizing the code lah.
Because it's not like certain fields of study where you really have to memorize things. Like biology, for example, there's almost no other way around it because you cannot really derive things in biology. It's just, yeah, here's a frog, this is the lung. So it's not like in mathematics you can have like one identity and then you can just take everything else you need from that one identity. Biology, no. You just so biology is memorization heavy. But things like this, especially coding, because it's a software, computer science is a branch of applied mathematics anyway.
Yes.
So you just have to understand. Especially coding is just okay. I want a function. This function needs to have one. This kind of that's it. Maybe, and then you can always Google it. But if you don't really know what this is for, then yeah, I think that is the memorization part. If you don't memorize, like for example in JavaScript, what constant does, maybe you're going to have some problems because you don't understand the errors that are going to come
Yeah.
through. But I guess that will, yeah, as long as you practice more, you code more.
Then
That's what I think. I mean, I'm just like we said, I'm just 6 months. I'm not
maybe
trying.
next year
Yeah.
you got something else to say.
Yeah, maybe next year. Maybe I should. I'm not really in the position to give advice, but that's what I think because that's what works with me. I just practice, and then most of it comes. Yeah, comes not naturally, but it will come if you write a lot of code. Yeah.
Actually, I was told that you're originally from KL, right? Is it?
I lived in KL a long time. I'm not from there. I was born in Selangor, and then what else? Just by the nature of things, I just live in KL for a long time. Aggregate for like maybe 9 years, 8 years, all considered.
It's a very long time.
Very long time, but aggregate na. I mean if you're just talking about one, I was living in KL from 2019 until just last year, so 6 years. 6 years, one shot. But if you count the times I spent in the engineering preparation when I was like kindergarten, 9 years.
But that's so interesting though, because usually like people who are from KL wouldn't want to move all the way to Penang.
Because I'm not from there.
Oh, yeah, but you were living there. So it is
yeah.
kind of still the same premise of why would you go from KL all the way and come all the way here to study here? Which is quite interesting.
I see. But then again, yeah, the easy answer is because Forward came with an offer, and Forward happened to be in Penang. If Forward happened to be in like Malacca, I'll go to Malacca. You get what I mean? It's just
You're not fixated also.
yeah. Of course, if you're talking about like the moving part, yeah, it's kind of hassle to do, but I mean Penang is not a bad city anyway. Yeah, it's not a bad city. I mean, I'm from Sabah. I'm from KK. It kind of reminds me of KK. Yeah, because it's a city near the shore.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of KK a little bit. But I wouldn't say this. People people will hit me in the. But I'm just joking. But Penang, yeah, Penang is like KK. It's like KK. I mean, when we say climate, because Malaysia is pretty much the same. But when it's windy. You know, when cities along the shores are usually windy. So even though it's hot, it's not really hot. In KL, if it's hot, it's hot. It's like very uncomfortable. But in Penang, you feel the sun rays, but because the wind is always blowing, so you don't really feel that uncomfortable. So I like the Penang climate kind of way like that. But of course, there's a lot of things better in KL, better in somewhere else. There are things better in Penang, of course. Okay, we're talking, if we're dissing Penang, I don't know, people will get angry. But you say nasi kandar Penang better. Actually, no.
It's the same.
It's not same. KL better.
Really?
I mean, maybe my taste is shaped by things in KL lah. So I'm not saying Penang is not good. I'm just saying maybe the best nasi kandar makers, they moved to KL already. They're still from Penang. It's still Penang thing. But they say, we cannot make money here. So we go to KL. That's
You're
what.
smart nah.
Because the best nasi kandar I've eaten is actually in Penang. I wouldn't say the shop because I want to gatekeep the thing too.
Oh.
You guys find lah yourself. But the best actually KL. And then I try lah Penang. I mean, okay lah. It's not bad. I'm not saying bad. Still good, but no. Then how to say? Maybe there are some things that I haven't tried yet because they say the hawker culture in Penang
Yes.
maybe. But I tried one of the kway teow where near the Times Square. Was it because it's supposed to be the originally it was a hawker and then they opened shop there.
Yeah.
And then I tried lah. Okay, Jalan where I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking
Yeah. So I tried and then see you get me. So it's always disappointment for me when I try to eat food in Penang. Maybe I haven't really found places where because then again people like to gatekeep, right? Of course they won't tell an outsider like me where to eat. Maybe I haven't really found a good place, yeah. But so far, yeah. I've lived in KL. I've lived in JB.
Oh.
I've lived in KK, of course, my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're talking about the biggest cities in Malaysia, maybe KL and then JB and then Penang, or maybe Penang number 2. So yeah, one part of that is I want the experience of like living in the different parts of Malaysia. So okay lah, just nice. I mean, it's just for 2 years or maybe more if I'm hired here. But while I'm still young, okay. While I'm still young. While I'm still how to say not really in terms of in terms of family commitment, I don't really have anything much. So when you still don't have a lot of things to worry about, maybe that's why I wanted to go here, just to experience the world, you know. I mean, I've never been to Penang once, so it's just okay, why not?
Before I wrap this up,
All right.
because I think your situation is quite special in a sense where you've already had so much experience, you've already worked, you've already got halfway through your masters.
I quit now, basically.
I'm trying to be nice, okay?
Yeah, I quit my masters. It's okay. There's no shame in it. I quit my masters. Didn't finish anything.
Would you? There are actually a lot of people who are wanting to start tech,
Right.
but they are afraid. Maybe it's the commitment. Maybe it's the fact that, a bit like you how you said like you took a very long time to sort of think whether I want to let go of everything before I came here. If you could give like one piece of advice to somebody like that, what would you say to them?
Wow. Okay, then again, before this, I just want to say a disclaimer. Not every advice is applicable at every time. Okay, I've said this. So basically, if we're being realistic, one thing is we have to assess. You have to assess if anybody is in the situation of wanting to go, wanting not to go. Basically, you have to assess your own situation financially first, because that is the most important thing when you're deciding to, not after you have been working for a while. If you're in a similar situation like me, like you already work, you already finish your maybe degree or whatever, diploma or whatever, and then you want to return back into studies without actually furthering your studies, you get what I mean? So in terms of financial situation, you have to assess that whether you can actually live for 2 years at least, because that's the amount of time that you will be not working. Of course you can always find part-time jobs everywhere. So depending, it really depends on whether or not you're willing to work while you're studying. So for me, I'm not really willing to. So before I go here, I made sure I have at least 2 years of savings. So of course situations are different. Maybe you can afford like having only 1 year, and then maybe you're riding with full scholarship or anything like that. So depends on your situation. Once you're confident that your financial situation is quite okay, you don't really have to be like of course it really depends on you. You don't really have to have 2 years like me. Maybe 1.5 years is okay for you, because you can always have like student loans or anything. But yeah, first of all, financial situation, how much risk you are willing to take. Second, because if you're really thinking, for me, if you're really thinking going to tech into non, usually you have already weighed your options. You already know you want to do. If you're just trying out, maybe don't. It's just, oh, maybe tech. No, if you just say, I want to go into tech, I don't know it's worth it or not, this is for you. If you just, maybe I want to go to tech, maybe not, because you're not really sure. If you're sure but you're not really willing to let you go, this is the advice for you. First of all, assess your financial situation if you can somewhat have it. And then second is, basically, that's all it is. It's a leap of faith. It might not work because it might not work. You have to be aware that it might not work. And you have to be comfortable with that, because even though you are spending so much time already, 2 years, and then so much money on education, sometimes it will not work immediately. But then again, nothing in this world is guaranteed anyway. So yeah, because that's all for me, because that is what I did. I have the financial thing sorted out, and then yeah, I know it might not work, but then again, like I said earlier, it's better to regret trying than regret not trying it, except for drugs. Drugs, don't do drugs. Drugs, you will regret trying it. Yep. I do not admit or anything. I do not admit anything. I'm just saying, don't do drugs. You will regret trying it.
Okay.
All right.
I think that was very insightful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
that.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for this session.
Right. Thank you.
What is
Okay.
that?
No, to see
Cut.
the audio spike. No?